Yes, sir.
चलो हाँ बताओ.
Hi sir, how are you?
Very good. आप बताओ. How are you?
All good sir. So,
Can I get you a glass of water?
No, thank you so much.
हाँ जी.
So what's the agenda for the day?
What's the agenda for today? Well, I think we're just practically wrapping up the day. Another one meeting to go to, but then we are done.
So let's start with the rapid fire questions that we have planned.
Sure.
ठीक है. So what's your favorite?
If I keep on getting calls, can I take them in between?
Yeah, sure.
Sorry. Hello. कट गया. हाँ जी बताओ.
ठीक है. So very first question is, what's your favorite architectural style and why?
Why? I would say predominantly what we do is contemporary in nature, and our innate sensibilities lean towards minimalism. And I think whatever we do focus a lot on efficient, making the design efficient, making it more practical. So I think combine all these four adjectives, and that's what our style is.
Describe your dream project in 3 words.
I think when you say dream project, I think all that we do, all the projects that we do, they are very close to us, irrespective of the size and the scope of work. Ultimately, what are we doing? We are trying to give a solution to all our customers, and whenever we do something that makes them happy, that gives them the desired result, that makes it, I think, we look at it as a job well done. So I think all the projects that we have done and that we are doing are close to our heart, and they're all, I think, our dream projects.
Whose work inspires you the most?
Whose work in terms of
Any inspiration in life, basically.
any inspiration level? There are so many people, that I think, see, what happens is design is all around us, okay, and we imbibe by the virtue of being there, okay. When we look at things, whether it is in real life or online, we do take inspiration from so many things that we see, most of the time without even realizing it. So I genuinely cannot think of a single individual who has inspired us, but I think it's a joint effort of everyone around us, who has inspired us to be or what we do.
Okay. So, what's the most challenging aspect of designing in a rapidly changing world?
I would say, I would say, the field that we are in, it's a very dynamic field, and it keeps on and it evolves at a very rapid pace. So I think one of the things that I personally find challenging is to keep abreast of all the new technologies, processes, and the products. We are blessed in sense that we have very good vendors who take time out to introduce us to all the new products and the new technologies that are coming on a daily basis practically.
Any go-to solution for overcoming creative blocks?
Take help, sleep over it. We are blessed that I personally think that we have an immense pool of talent, and anytime I personally or anyone in the team feels stuck, I think that's the easiest and the most efficient route. Just ask the other person.
Is there any historical building, which one would it be? No. If you could redesign, which one would it be?
I would say, in Indian context of India, I personally feel that for the last number of years, we have stopped creating landmarks. And I think this Parliament House, the new building that has been created, that was one opportunity that we missed. I know it's functional, it's definitely functional, they've done it in a record time, but I think, and here, don't get me wrong, I have nothing against efficiency, I'm all for it, I'm all for making it as functional as possible without adding anything extra. But we do also need buildings to inspire, to inspire a generation of new, the entire nation to feel proud about itself, but also a generation of new professionals to feels that they need to create something larger than they are. So I think that's one missed opportunity. But other than that, I'm sure we can find fault in so many other buildings. But that's what comes.
Any other than Parliament House where you could just give a touch of Essentia? Any other building?
Name a building, and I'm sure we. Even though howsoever nice it might be, I'm sure we can add something to it.
Perfect. Describe your design process using only movie titles. I would suggest.
Well, only one movie comes to my mind. That's Fountainhead. Anyone who's interested or who's in this field would know what I'm talking about. I read this book and I saw this movie, I think, I don't know, 20 years ago, maybe thereabouts. And I think partly the book is responsible for what we are today. I strongly recommend, as a matter of fact, I think it should be a required reading and watch for all the people who are interested in this field.
Great. What's your guilty pleasure when it comes to design materials?
Sorry, guilty pleasure what?
When it comes to design materials?
We favor all natural products. So as long as it is natural, if we want something to look like wood, we would prefer natural wood. If it is gold, then we would prefer brass over anything else. All veneers over laminates, stone over tiles. So as long as it is natural, we are happy using it.
Okay. Any unusual request you have received from any client? Any weirdest request?
I don't know if I would categorize them as unusual, but challenging definitely. Often, we get requirements which contradict with Vastu elements. And there we need to be more creative as to how we accommodate clients' functional requirements with the instructions that we get from their Vastu consultants. More often than not, there are time challenges. People want their projects to be finished yesterday. Then there are also those budgetary constraints. As a designer, we feel very strongly about what we want, but there simply isn't any budget for that. So we need to be more creative about that. So I think challenges. I think we face challenges on each and every project, but I won't call them unusual.
Okay. If you could collaborate with any artist or designer, who would it be?
Why do I have to choose? I would love to collaborate with everyone. This is the time where I think there's so much work that it's simply impossible for any single organization to do it all. So collaboration is definitely need of the hour, and we are very happy to collaborate with each and every one.
Have you ever received any weirdest critique about your work?
Yeah. People look at the products that we manufacture, and I remember one of our customers saying that, I suspect that you're importing it from Europe, removing the label and putting your own label. So that I think was
The most weirdest.
I still took it as a compliment, and I think he probably meant it as a compliment. But that was a bit different.
Do you think social media has a responsibility in promoting sustainable architecture?
Why just social media? See, that's just a media to share information. So I think not just social media, all of us need to be aware. People living in Delhi can vouch for that they have personally felt the effects of what you just mentioned. We are living in a gas chamber, and you can actually physically feel it. So most of the time, the effects of this are not apparent. But in Delhi, we are ironically fortunate enough to see the effects firsthand and visibly so. So I think it's everybody's responsibility to be aware of this, to focus on sustainability, to ensure that their carbon footprint is minimized in whatever they do. So
Do you believe in the trend of open offices?
Yeah, we generally, that's I think one of the one of the important things that we focus on. So even when you look at our office, what you'll find is there is visual connectivity from one end to the other. Personally, I'm a big advocate of keeping it as open as possible.
ठीक है.
इधर
So
चले, उधर चले, किधर चलना चाहोगे?
आप बताओ.
आओ. इसमें से चलते हैं.
Next question. According to you, do you think smart homes is interfering too much in personal privacy?
It's a very subjective question. I think they have a role to play definitely in terms of so it's a fine line that you have to walk. On one hand, they do help in keeping or making the process sustainable. By through use of automation, you can control the energy usage significantly. At the same time, I think there is that sense that you're letting go of or you are compromising on your privacy. The younger generation is very good at adapting to this, but again, smart homes still. The amount of time all of us spend putting our details on the social media, I think the smart home or technology associated with that is that should be of the least concern, I think.
Also, do you think that social media has created unrealistic expectations for residential living?
Not just for residential living, but for everything. I think I feel a little sorry about the younger generation. They have so much pressure. They look at everybody being so successful and so happy on the social media, and I'm sure it influences them in a way that my generation cannot possibly understand. But along the same line, yes, it does. One, it gives everybody an insane amount of exposure as to what is happening and how, and of course everybody wants to put their best foot forward, so everybody does get influenced by that. But whether that is for good or for bad, I don't know.
Should there be any limitations on the use of AI in architecture?
Should there be any? I don't think that's the right question. Can we control that? That should be that is probably the right question, and I think in the long run, no. AI is here to stay, and with each passing year, you'll find that people who want to survive or excel, they'll have to make liberal use of that.
Since everybody is following the trend of green architecture,
आगे चलिए आप.
what do you think? Is this just a marketing move or a genuine concern?
I think for some it might be a marketing move, but for most of us, I think it's a genuine concern. And like I said earlier, people living in this part of the country, they are suffering from it tremendously. So it is definitely need of the hour, and I think our field has a significantly lopsided role to play here.
Collaborate, compete, or coexist? What's your preferred approach with working with other entrepreneurs?
I would say all three. Definitely collaborate as much as you can with whoever you possibly can. Compete if it inspires you to do more and do better. Why coexist? Let's thrive together.
What's your work-life balance routine?
My work-life balance routine? The nature of our work is such that we are on 24/7. I recognized it long time ago. So what I did was I made work my home. So all the people working here, they're like our children, and it feels like home. And I think most of them reciprocate. So there is no work life. It's just either life, which is here. That's it.
How has your personal life influenced your design aesthetic?
We have been fortunate enough to have lived in a number of different places. I left home when I was 16, and from there until I was 33 or 34, I was out of home, living in different country, different places. And I think that has allowed us to imbibe and to develop an innate sensibility. So I've lived in Australia, that probably, I think, showed us how it is to live openly. From Russia, where the architecture was meant to inspire awe. Okay, the entire architecture there is just the entire purpose of Soviet Union architecture was to show how the state was ever present and much bigger than an individual. And then I did spend some time in Paris. So I think all living in all these places has somehow shaped our design philosophy.
What's the most unexpected source of inspiration you have ever found while designing a luxury project?
Sometimes you take or you get inspiration from unlikeliest of the places. Okay, it could be an article in a magazine, it could be a novel that you're reading, or it could even be a piece of jewelry. And I would say, humble enough to realize this, that everything that we see or everything that we experience gives us some sort of inspiration. So I would say we take help from everything around us.
If your designs were a fashion statement, what would it be?
Here I think I like to draw from something I read from in a book, and I think it was a quote from Coco Chanel, where she said that when you think you're ready to step out of the house, take out a piece or two, and then you are ready. So and from there I think we possibly acquired this less is more mantra. So that's it, keep things to a minimum.
What challenges do you often face in creating an ultra luxury project?
I would say predominantly two: time and budget. Other than that, I think everything else, the clients are amenable. They do, most of the time, they do take our inputs seriously. It's just that somehow what we don't have in abundance is both time and money.
How do you measure the success of any project?
I would say if we have managed to wrap it up in time, within budget, and if we are personally satisfied and thrilled with the end result, I would say it's a success.
Lastly, if you could just give one piece of advice to aspiring entrepreneurs.
One piece, well, that's a little challenging, but I would say think big. Young people, more often they doubt themselves, and my piece of advice to them would be, don't. Whatever you want to do, you need to find your passion, you need to find what makes you happy, you need to dedicate yourself doing that. However, just increase the size of your canvas. If you want to make money, why stop at millions? Why not billion? Why not a trillion? If you want to explore, then why explore your neighborhood? Why not your country? Why not your entire world? Or why not the solar system? Or beyond? Okay, if you want to love, well, love like Shah Rukh Khan does, yes? You get the idea. So, only you as a young person defines what your limiting factor would be, and only you can be the catalyst to the growth that you can achieve. So think big, go at it.